antechambers and things like that.
Sure.
Takes us about 3 days in total.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual main system is built.
So it's a 3 days. It's easy to build. 3
No,
days.
3 days.
3 days it builds. Okay.
So one day for the dome.
Yeah.
And then the other day is just for the features.
Okay.
And then the antechamber.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
And so we lock into the ground. We have these very easy ground anchoring systems. They're Australian engineered, so they comply with Australian standards. And the dome at really high winds, say 160 plus winds, has so you can just see it puffing out, just as you have a look now.
Yeah.
See how the wind's blowing through it?
Yeah.
And then it's just puffing out a little bit?
Yes,
okay,
yes.
So that's just airflow, air inside, because it's going through the vents, and then it's just puffing out a little bit. Which is good because it means you've got more circulation, more air movement. Because plants love air movement.
Sure.
Okay. But we anchor it into the ground. The anchoring systems, we generally anchor with 5 points. Takes us about 10 minutes to anchor each point, so about an hour to actually lock down the dome. Can withstand 160 kilometre winds, quite a lot of uplift, so it doesn't get pulled up out of the ground. So that's all just part of the systems. We now move to gravel. So gravel we find is a much better ground system. It's a lot cheaper. And then we use these tiles to hold. So these are once again Australian inventions. And these tiles, they're only a couple of kilos in weight. But you fill them in with gravel. When you fill them in, they can take up to 1,200 tons per square metre. So we have the rotation system, which is very heavy, and we'll put them on the tracks, and then they'll actually rotate all the plants inside in a moment.
Sure.
So you've got your ground preparations. We put these tanks, these what do you call it? These drainage lines.
Okay.
And then we put water tanks underground, and then we take the water out of the ground with a sump pump, and we put that into a water tank, so that'll come up next.
Sure.
When we're looking at a project, we look at the entire project, the ground systems for the client. We can deliver the entire lot. On this site, so there's two types of clients that we have. One who wants their own plantation. And we then buy back the bean. So we set up all the automation systems.
Sure.
We've got one project going off potentially in Iran at the moment.
Iran, okay.
Iran, they came out in May.
Really? They came all the way from Iran. Okay, interesting. So, well, I am in touch with the horticultures back in Pakistan, and definitely I'm going to send these videos to your videos to them. And let's see what they say. We are over there. It's not that high tech. They want to be high tech. But they have limitations. So with our automation systems, it manages our growth and our flowering. Sure.
So we can just with a button turn it on or turn it off. So if we want growth, the default mode is growth. We just push that button, and it creates all the ideal conditions for growth. And then if you want flowering, you push the one button. Because what we understand is a lot of people want to get into micro horticulture, and they also want to generate a revenue, because we have a lot of land in Australia. Our labour is not very much at all.
Exactly.
Not just our labour, but our knowledge about growing things. We don't have that knowledge anymore. So we built these solutions so that you don't need a lot of knowledge. You don't need to know to change and when to change and all that type of stuff. Just let the automation systems manage all of that. That reduces your labour cost. But not just your labour, but also the amount of knowledge. It's the knowledge.